Who wants easy? Don't you want emotional trauma, emotional abuse, gaslighting, to never know where you're going to wake up the next morning and if you're going to be able to afford food because I just put a mustache sticker on the van? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't worry, I am still a proud Slytherin. This was just one of the only things left that was clean. We're going to talk about Bachelor in Paradise today. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe because I put out new videos every single week and it helps me a whole bunch. Now, let's get to the action. First things first, Blake comes out of the gate being like, yeah, apparently I burned bridges. And it's like, no, dude, there's no air quotes. I don't know if you've ever seen Joey on Friends, but this isn't an air quote moment. You literally burned bridges. Like, you better believe you set a match to all those bridges. You're like, I could leave this little pathway here, but nope, let's set it on fire. Now I'm supposed to believe this whole Christina and Blake thing when she said that her whole purpose for being in paradise was to ruin his life and make him like he was living in a living purgatory. And even though he was only there for Hannah G and only there for Tayshia, and she went on a date with Luke S, but you're trying to sell me the idea that they're a couple? Not today. Old MacDonald is really nervous to kiss Sydney, and I can't help but think that maybe he's just nervous because it's on national TV. Like, I think that would be a real psychological mind game, because it's one thing to kiss people. First kisses in general are usually pretty nerve-wracking, but the fact that you're going to have millions of people watch to see your tongue movements. He asks Papa Chris for advice, which is honestly so precious, and I feel like Chris is just the surrogate father to all these little chillins. He finally kisses Sydney, and the Bachelor producers either really hate their job or really love it because they put in this like middle school slideshow of dolphins and rockets going off and everything. It's like, we know you're just trying to go viral on Twitter, calm down. At the rose ceremony, Mike gets sent home, which makes no sense to me because he's literally such a precious being, but it's okay because we know that Demi Lovato is out there waiting in the wedding dress for her to come back from paradise. JPJ gets picked, and I honestly don't understand because I thought that Tayshia and Mike possibly could have had a thing, but no, it's okay. Please pick the 12-year-old surfer dude with the ego of a man going through a middle-age crisis. Matt goes on a date with Brie and just freaking makes out with her face hardcore after he lost like 87% of the liquid in his body from sweating over the Sydney kiss. Dean comes back, which honestly this is the thing we're going to spend the most time on, because we see Blake being like, yeah, Caitlin's been through so much. It's like, dude, she's been through so much because of you, but I see that you're trying to just put on some cotton balls even though you're a wolf and just trying to sneak in with the sheep so that they don't come and attack you. Connor's just watching all of it happen, including when all the other people right in front of him start talking about how Caitlyn is better off with Dean and how they have more passion and how they totally think that they're going to leave Connor for Dean. And it's like, either you're all tools or you've gone deaf from all the screaming and crying on the beach. Dean tells Caitlyn it wasn't fair for him to make the decision for her about leaving so soon, and tries to make it like it's this big revelation when she literally said that to him during the breakup. He puts in a humble brag that he jumped into the Grand Canyon. Caitlyn says it's so easy with her and Connor, and Dean's like, who wants easy? Don't you want emotional trauma, emotional abuse, gaslighting, to never know where you're going to wake up the next morning and if you're going to be able to afford food because I just put a mustache sticker on the van? Connor's freaking out, understandably, because his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend's trying to get her back, and he's sweating and freaking out, and Christina's just like, have you met Dean? Like, you're just a bully. You're just being condescending and rude and trying to make him freak out for no reason. Like, you're just a tool. I honestly don't understand how Dean was on The Bachelorette, where the end game is to get engaged, if he can't even handle paradise, where like the end game is just to go out to a TGI Fridays after you've been on the beach. It ends up with her being like, I don't know who to choose. The dangerous guy who lives in a van who thinks that removing facial hair and putting on a button-up shirt is character growth, or the perfect guy. I don't know. I want to settle down, but I can't decide between these two choices who seem equally good to settle down and start a family with. That's it for this week's recap, guys. I kept it quick and dirty. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe because we got one more week of this and then we start the new season. And look, we got to be here to talk about all of it. Subscribe.